Moroi, Magadi, Mose, greetings to you all. I'm going to talk about social work and development work with older persons in Africa, focusing on the African Union's policies, but also the philosophy behind those policies. My name is Rugare Mugumbate. I'm convener of the Africa Social Work Network. I work for the University of Wollongong, and I do research for the University of Johannesburg in South Africa. I've divided my talk into three parts. In the first part, I'll talk about two major AU policies on older people and focus on one of them. I will then move on to talk about philosophy and theories behind the AU policies. And number three, I'll talk about sources of literature and other resources for you. The African Union has got two major policies on older persons. The first one is the Protocol on the Rights of Older Persons that was put in place in 2016. It is basically an agreement by the 54 countries that make up the African Union in terms of what to do when it comes to older persons in the different countries. Then there is the Policy Framework and Plan of Action on Aging that was put in place in 2002, but it is under revision, and there is a draft that was put in place in 2022. I'll be talking more about this framework. The framework has 7 core guiding principles with several approaches. I'll be talking about just one core guiding principle. It has got 11 strategic action areas, 6 stakeholder groups, and their roles. Core guiding principle B4 is about supporting families and communities, and it is one that I will talk about a bit more. It talks about what the African Union and Africa more generally expects communities and families to do in relation to older adults. And I quote, "Africa looks to families and their communities as key social groups in which older people's lives unfold." And further that Africa looks to families and communities as a strength upon which development in the continent can and must be built. Then item number 7 of the same core guiding principle says family and community arrangements and initiatives can be leveraged and built upon, but this must ensure that the capacities and resources of communities and families are adequately supported. So in summary, this is what this principle talks about. It has got 4 key approaches. The first one is about supporting norms and values. The second one being family and community based. The third one, stakeholder engagement. And the last one is about resourcing. So when we look at all these approaches, frameworks, principles, and policies of the African Union, we should ask ourselves what philosophy is behind this. What worldview is behind these arrangements? So the philosophy behind them is Ubuntu, which is the family or relations or ukama at the center, followed by community or ujamaa, then ujamii, which is about society, imvelo, the environment, and uroho, which is about spirituality. You can get more about Ubuntu from the ASSWDNet website. So we can see that African Union frameworks and plans, they focus on family relations, but also community. Of course, they talk about the role of governance, which is society. They talk about the role of the environment and spirituality, but they focus more on number 1 and number 2, which is family relations, but also community systems. How about theories? What theories are behind AU policies and frameworks? There is African aging theory. A key proponent of that is Andrew Nyanguru, who was a social worker and an academic. There is more information about this on the ASSWDNet website, as well as several other theories to support social work and development on the African continent. So that's an important theory, Africa Aging Theory by Nyanguru, to look at when it comes to aging. But there are many other theories. Please visit the website for that. But there are many other sources of information on aging, but also disability. The first is the Journal of Development Administration. You can Google it, you can search it, you can also get it from the ASSWDNet website. A recent article by Demba Mokofane and Mabetoa talked about a developmental approach with older persons. It's an important read, and this was published just some 2 months ago. Then there's also the Journal of Social Issues in NCDs and Disability, and most recent article focused on mass media and older adults in Ghana, and that was by Kwanzaa Newton and Abeka Carter. Then there's the African Journal of Social Work, which is recognized internationally. It has got very good standing. And a recent article by Echo and Waria focused on Ubuntu and forced migration, focusing on older refugees in Canada. The Africa Social Work and Development Network website has got vast resources, because the role of the network is to aggregate, disseminate information, to create information. So the ASSWDNet has created vast different kinds of information that you can use for your teaching, for your learning, for your practice, but also for your research. You can use the QR code or the web details provided to access the website. But let's not forget the African Union, www.au.int, for information about aging. Just get in there and search older adults or older persons. You get information about to use for your work. Let's also remember country laws and policies and plans on aging. These will be useful, and of course regional policies and plans by the African Union from organizations like SADC, like ECOWAS, COMESA, and UMA. They've got laws and policies. I'll end by inviting you to Fundo ya Ubuntu, which is the Ubuntu annual lecture for 2023. It's happening on 8 December. You are all invited. We'll have African professionals and practitioners talk about how to develop models, the models that they have developed, so that you learn to contribute to knowledge by developing models and theories instead of using theories and models from outside Africa. Kani mambo zikomo kwambili maitabasa. Asante sana. Bye.